All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something that's absolutely crucial for any small business out there, getting online. Because let's be real, in today's world, if you're invisible online, you're pretty much invisible, period. And that's a huge problem. But don't worry, we're here to show you how to fix it.
So let me ask you this. Is your business playing hide and seek with your customers? It sounds a little silly, right? But think about it. If you don't have a solid online presence, you're basically hiding from almost everyone who is actively looking for the very thing you sell. It's like having a great shop, but with the doors locked and the lights off. And this leads us right to what we're calling the invisible business problem. So let's unpack what this actually means for your bottom line. Okay, just look at the difference here. Back in the day, and I mean not even that long ago, you could get by just fine with good old word of mouth, maybe a newspaper ad, but today, it's a totally different ballgame. The modern customer journey starts right in their hand on a search engine. They're Googling, checking reviews, and looking for social proof way before they'd ever even think of calling you. And here's the hard truth. It doesn't matter if you are the absolute best at what you do if nobody can find you. Every single time someone searches for plumber near me or best coffee in town and your name doesn't pop up, well, that's a customer you just lost. That's a sale that went straight into your competitor's pocket. So that leads to the big question, right? If they're not flipping through the phone book anymore, where are all these customers? Let's take a closer look at how people actually find and choose businesses today. Think about how you do it yourself. A need pops up, a pipe starts leaking, or you get a sudden craving for pizza. What's the very first thing you do? You pull out your phone, and the search is on. But look at these steps. This is the crucial part. Long before they ever think about calling you, they've already compared you to your competitors, and, this is a big one, they've read reviews from complete strangers. Their decision is basically 90% made before you even have a chance to say hello. That's a massive power shift, and it is all happening online. Okay, so how in the world do you actually show up in those searches? Well, the magic key here is something called local SEO. I know it sounds super technical, but the idea is actually really simple. It's just all the stuff you do to make sure that when someone in your area searches for what you do, boom, your name pops up right at the top of the list. And you know what? A huge first step can be as simple as making sure your business name, address, and phone number are the exact same everywhere they appear online.
But here's the thing. Getting found is just step one. It's only half the battle. Once people find you, you've got to make them trust you. So now, let's talk about building those two essential assets online, visibility and trust. You really need to think of your website and your Google profile as your new digital storefront. It's the very first impression anyone gets of your business. So take a hard look and ask yourself, does it look professional and welcoming, or is it kind of empty, maybe a little outdated? Because believe me, customers are making a snap judgment based on that. It instantly tells them if you're credible, if you're reliable, and yeah, if you're worth their hard-earned money. I love this quote. It is so, so true. Think about it. Anything you say about your own business, that's just advertising. But what a happy customer says about you, man, that's proof. A handful of positive reviews can be more powerful and more convincing than any ad you could ever buy. And here's another huge advantage: longevity. You take out a print ad, it runs for a week, and poof, it's gone, money spent. But a good blog post, an optimized page on your website, that thing is like an employee that works for you 24/7 for months, even years, bringing in new customers. As you can see, that digital visibility just keeps building on itself. It compounds over time, becoming this incredibly valuable asset that just keeps on growing. Okay, I know what some of you are probably thinking right now. This all sounds nice, but come on, how can my little shop compete with the giant budgets of the big national chains? Well, get ready, because this next part is all about how you can not only compete with them, you can actually win. This table lays out the whole David versus Goliath story for the digital age. Yeah, the big brands have massive budgets, for sure. But you have something they don't. You're agile, and you're hyper-relevant to your local community. They're spending a fortune on a generic national campaign for, say, coffee. But you can get super specific and target people searching for the best rainy day coffee spot in downtown Austin. See the power in that? They're casting a huge, wide net, but you can own that top spot right where it counts, in your own backyard. So please remember this. The internet really does level the playing field. It is not just about who has the biggest wallet. It's about who has the smartest, most targeted strategy. And that local expertise you have, that's your secret weapon.
It's a massive advantage that the big guys just can't copy. And if that wasn't enough, here's another game changer: data. When you run a traditional ad, you're basically just crossing your fingers and hoping it works. It's guesswork. But with digital marketing, as this chart shows, everything is measurable. You can literally see what's working and what's not. You know which ads bring in customers, which pages on your site people love. This is huge. It means you can stop throwing money at things that don't work and double down on what you know is bringing you business. All right, so hopefully by now you're on board. You're thinking, okay, I get it. I need to do this. But the next question is, where do I even start? Well, this last section is designed to give you a super clear, no fluff starting point. Let's keep this really, really simple. Don't get overwhelmed. Just focus on these 4 foundational things. First, get a clean, professional website that looks great on a phone. That's your home base. Second, claim and completely fill out your Google business profile. Think of it as your digital sign on Main Street. Third, nail those local SEO basics we talked about so you actually show up when people search. And last but not least, make a real effort to get online reviews and then respond to them. Seriously, if you just master these 4 things first, you will be light years ahead of most of your competition. Now, one quick but really important reality check: building this kind of online presence, especially with things like SEO, isn't an overnight thing. You have to be patient. It can easily take 3 to 6 months before you start seeing those really solid, lasting results. So think of it like planting a tree, not flipping a switch. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but it is absolutely a race that you can win. So we're going to leave you with one final question, and I want you to actually do this when we're done. Pull out your phone and search for your own services in your town. What do you find? Are you even there? And if you are, do you like what you see? Because whatever that result is, that's exactly what your potential customers are seeing right now.